Hello, my wonderful people. How are you all doing today? I hope you're good. Welcome to Elias Matters TV. Today, I bring you an interesting topic. I'm going to be talking about 5 steps in relation to choosing childcare. Okay, so I am going to be talking about 5 steps in relation to choosing childcare. Okay, parents and guidance of young children from birth to 6 years. So I'm just going to be giving you 5 steps in relation to when you're considering choosing a childcare setting for your child or your children. Okay, so these 5 steps are really important. These are the 5 things that I would like you to consider if you are the parent or guidance of young children from birth to 6 years in relation to choosing a childcare setting. Okay, so let's go. Step 1, you have to consider the cost and the affordability. Okay, you as the parent, as the guidance of children from birth to 6 years, if you want to pick a childcare setting for your child or children, or in relation to deciding a childcare setting, you need to consider your cost. Okay, so you need to consider what you'll be able to afford. Okay, and also it depends on the setting. Okay, some settings they charge weekly, some charge monthly. Okay, so you have to consider the cost. Okay, so in relation to considering the cost in relation to a childcare setting, you need to do a feasibility study. Okay, so you need to do a feasibility study in relation to all the childcare setting that you're interested in enrolling your child in, and you need to consider the cost. And if this is something that you would be able to meet up with, then you've passed. You should tick the first box. Okay, so the first box in relation to choosing a childcare setting for your child or children, you need to consider the cost or the affordability. Okay, and the second step is you need to consider the location. Okay, it is very important in relation to choosing a childcare setting. You need to consider the location to your home, okay, or to your place of work. Okay, sometimes I've seen some parents, they go for childcare setting that are closer to their place of work, so that in the morning they just drop their children to this setting and then off they go to work. And sometimes I've seen some parents as well, they consider a childcare setting closer to their home, so that in the morning they drop their kids, okay, and then they go back to work, and then when they are coming back again, they pick their children. So it's up to you to decide whatever location you're going for. Do you want to decide the location that is closer to your home as the parent, or closer to your place of work or your college? Okay, so that is step 2. Okay, so step 3, you need to consider the opening times and closing times. Okay, so the childcare setting that you decide you want to go for, you need to consider the times of their opening and the times of their closing, and then you have to decide if this suits you. Okay, because like I said earlier, you need to consider your own time in relation to going to work. So it might be that you have to resume work for 8 o'clock, okay, but then you have to decide, maybe you want to go for a childcare setting that starts at 6:30. Okay, so you have to take this into consideration as well in relation to choosing a childcare setting. You need to consider their opening times and closing times. So for example, if you have a childcare setting that does not open before you go to work, or they close earlier before you finish from work, do not go for that childcare setting, because it's not going to suit your needs. Okay, so in relation to deciding on a childcare setting, you need to consider the opening and the closing time if this really suits your need. Okay, now we move on to step 4. Okay, so in relation to step 4, you need to consider the environment of the childcare settings that you are going for. Okay, parents, you need to take note of this. This is really important if you want to go for any childcare setting. Okay, if you want to enroll your children in any childcare setting, you need to consider the environment. So that means you have to do your feasibility studies. You have to visit the childcare setting prior to you enrolling your children. Okay, so you need to check the setting in relation to, is it conducive for children to learn in relation to play? Because from birth to 6 years, everything that should be presented to children, it should be through play. Okay, so you need to check if the environment is conducive enough. Is there appropriate resources to support learning? This is really important. You need to take note of this. Step 4, in relation to the learning environment, you need to consider if it is conducive enough, okay, and does it support and promote learning? Because children from birth to 6 years, this is the time to prompt their curiosity, and you as the parent and guidance, if you want to go for any childcare settings to enroll your child or children in, you need to consider the environment, okay? And also in relation to considering the environment, it is really important that you consider the staffs, okay? So who are those people that you're going to be leaving your children with, okay? And you need to take this into consideration. Maybe you're going to be leaving your child from 8 to 5, you're not there, and you need to consider that at least the people that you're leaving your children with, they're in a safer hand, okay? So in relation to the staff of the setting as well, you need to make sure that they are qualified up to the standard of early childhood care and education. So you need to know that they are qualified to look after your children. So I'm going to cite an example. Here in the country that I am based in Ireland. The minimum qualification to work in the area of early childhood care and education is QQI level 5 in early childhood care and education, okay? So that means, okay, so if you don't have a minimum level 5 in early childhood, it means that you can't work in a childcare setting, okay? And it goes on from level 5 to level 6 to to the degree and the masters in the area of early childhood care and education. So you as the parent, it is really important in relation to going for any childcare setting to enroll your children okay, you need to make sure that the staffs are qualified, okay? And it is your right to ask for the qualification of the staffs. You're allowed to ask for the qualification of your staffs. So parents, do not shy away from this. Feel free in relation to your feasibility studies. When you've seen a childcare setting that you want to enroll your child or your children in, go in there and have a talk with the owner of the the setting or the manager of the setting and ask, okay, maybe for example, your child is going to be in the baby room. You could ask to see the qualifications of those that will be looking after your children. This is really important. Let us not shy away from it, and bear this in mind. You're paying for this, okay? So you need to know the service that you're paying for, okay? There's no point, okay, you'll be paying, let's say for example, you'll be paying 70 euros or 100 euros a week, and you do not know the people that you're leaving your children with, okay, when you're gone to work or you're in college, okay? So it is really important. Do not shy away from this, okay? Go in there and ask, okay, if your child is going to be in the baby room, ask, okay, what are the qualifications of those that are going to be in the baby room, okay? And it's also important as well, you can ask in relation to the staff ratios, okay? So this is all part of the environment of the setting that you're going for, okay? Make sure the environment is conducive. Ask the qualifications of the staff, okay? And it's know the ratio of the staff to the children in the setting, because different rooms have different ratios, okay? So it is really important that you ask all this and do not shy away from it, okay? And the last one, which is the 5th point, is references from other parents that their children are going to the same setting you want to enroll your children in, okay? So if you have friends that their children have attended these settings or they are planning to attend the setting, okay? So it is really important that you ask from references from them, okay, in relation to the setting. How did they find the settings? Maybe the ones that their children have been to this setting that you're thinking of in the past, okay? So you ask them, okay, in relation to the staffs, in relation to the environment, in relation to the room that you want to enroll the room that your child is going to stay in, okay? So what are you need to ask all this, and do not shy away, because when you have other parents give you references in relation to the setting or the room that your child is going to be in, you'll be rest assured that at least these people, they've gone through this setting in the past and you can owe them for their words, okay? And one thing I would also like you to know is that in relation to asking references from parents, make sure they are the ones that you can trust and you can rely on them, because sometimes you've seen some parents, they say things in the past and the opposite, or maybe because they know the owner of the settings, they tend to say sweet things. Oh, the setting is fine, sure, the setting is grand, they are friendly. So you have to make sure it's trusted parents or people that you trust, okay, that you could ask in relation to the setting you want to enroll your children in, okay? So this is very important. I'm just going to quickly go through it again, okay? In relation to step 1, you need to consider your cost, your affordability, okay? If it is 50 euros, you can afford a week, make sure you go for a setting that would only cost you 50 euros when you want to enroll your child. Okay, so the second one is the opening and closing time. Make sure the opening and closing time of the setting that you want to enroll your children in suits your needs. Okay, so if you're going to work from 8 to 5, so you need to look for a setting that is at least, you know, half 7 till half 5 or 6 o'clock, that will be able to meet your needs. And also you should consider settings that, is it the ones that will be closer to your home you want to enroll your children in, or the ones that will be nearer to your place of work. And then look at the environment of the settings. Okay, is it conducive? Does the environment promote learning? Okay, and look at the qualification of the staffs in the setting. Ask questions. Okay, what are the qualifications of the staff in this settings and the room that your child is going to be in? It is really important. Okay, ask for the staff ratios as well, the ratios of staff to children in the setting or in the room that your child is going to be in. And lastly, okay, it is very important, ask for references from parents that children have gone to this setting in the past. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope with this few tips, okay, I've been able to give you some few ideas in relation to picking a childcare setting for your child or your children. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time in my next episode. Do take care and mind yourself. Bye.